we're over the sad story now. I feel like a burden, even though people say to me that I'm not a burden. They frown up the nose at me, and then they behave like I'm a whole handicap, because everywhere I go I feel unwanted. To my YouTube channel. This is the British Bionic Babe, and in today's video we're finally going to start off our motivational playlist, and you're not going to want to miss anything that's about to happen. So come on, let's have our usual talk that I know you've missed so much. Okay, so of course, you know, to all my returning residents, I just want to say thank you so much for continuing to be on the channel with me. I must apologize because I have not been consistent, and you all know the reason why I can't be consistent is because something must be really happening to me on my end. But I am back on track. I will be doing the videos, giving you every Friday and every Monday. So for my returning residents, thank you so much. If you are new here, I just want to say thank you so much for being on this journey with me. If you recently subscribed to my channel and you're binge watching, kudos to you, because you've missed out on a lot of great things, and you would actually now be, you know, caught up on my recovery. And so we are in what? It's now June 2021. So I know that everybody has been saying to me, you know, we know that your accident anniversary is coming up and they want to reach out to me and ensure that I'm okay. I can tell you guys, for right now, I am okay. I'm a little bit nervous because I see all my doctors at the end of this month, and you all know I am dying to walk. And so my left femur, I'm hoping there is some indication that it's starting to heal. If it's not starting to heal, we are going to have to be looking at other options, which may mean another surgery. And I mean, you guys have been asking a lot of questions. I'm just going to quickly run through them. So first of all, I do have 4 surgeries currently on the books, and those 4 surgeries include I have to do a surgery for my jawline because I do have a hairline fracture. And if you didn't watch the video of how this hairline fracture is actually affecting me, you can always take a look at it up there. So I have that to actually get sorted out. And then I also have my eye, and as you can see, yes, so the swelling is not going down. I'm hoping that even when I go to my ophthalmologist, then he will give me some good news about what the eye is progressing with. Yes, I'm still blind in it. Only God can save it. So at the end of the day, the ophthalmologist is going to go ahead and tell me if it can be done, if the surgery can be done in order to fix the eyelid for it to, you know, look more like an eye. The reason why it has not been fixed and it's been taking so long is because they don't want to go ahead and schedule the surgery, and in the middle of the surgery they realize that there are active nerves in the swelling. And so in fixing my eye, what will happen is it will have a droopy look, and I prefer this look than a droopy look. That's the second surgery. I do have to do a full hip replacement because the chain link, yeah, that chain link, actually in the recovery it's now giving me arthritis. And yes, I'm a 30-year-old something with arthritis, but hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, that is what 3 surgeries. So jawline, eye, hip. And yes, I do have I do have to do another surgery on my leg. And so that surgery, plus if my femur is not working, an additional surgery, because I did a bone graft surgery, and if you missed that bone graft, you can watch it there. And what they did was take a piece of my left hip bone and put it into my left leg. But when we went back in December of 2020 to see if, you know, things were progressing, the femur did not heal. It did not start, it did not budge. It basically rejected the bone graft. So I was banned from walking in December 2020, and so in being banned from walking, it means that I had to go back to my wheelchair, go back to my crutches. I was told to get rid of the cane, but you know I'm a go-getter, so the cane comes and goes. But yes, other housekeeping matters. Yes, I was supposed to do a hair journey, but hey, the journey is still going. And you will actually see what my next journey is going to be with my hair, because I'm going back to locks. So that's enough rambling for now. let me go ahead and get into today's video. So when the beginning of the year started, I did say I'm going to start a motivational playlist. And the reason why I'm starting this motivational playlist is because, I mean, we're over the sad story now. Yes, an accident happened. Yes, I was broken up into a million pieces. And yes, I'm still here. So I feel like now is the time we need to move past the sadness. I mean, I will still keep you guys updated on my recovery and what's happening and how we're progressing. And you're going to see the day I, walk again with no assistance. But we need to move on from the sadness, and we need to come together, because we're here in all a community. We need to come together and motivate each other. And a lot of you motivate me through your comments, through your calls, through your messages, following all of my blogs, following all of my videos, liking my pictures on Instagram. And I would say thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And so we're at this place where we need to progress. We need to step forward. We need to move forward, because this new normal has a lot to offer, not just me, but to everybody. And so in today's video, we're going to start the motivational playlist off with feeling unwanted. Yes, that's what we're going to start with, feeling unwanted. And I think this is something that everybody has felt at some point in their life, whether that is by family, by friends, by strangers. But at some point you feel unwanted. And before my accident, I did feel unwanted at times, but it wasn't a situation where I had no control over. Because when you don't feel unwanted, what's that saying that people normally says? I don't stay where I'm not wanted. And that is exactly what would happen. I would not stay in a position where I'm not wanted. I mean, at that time I could walk, I could leave, I could do whatever I want to do. But then in this new normal, I feel more unwanted in many different cases than I'd like to admit. And so the first thing, or the first instance where I actually feel unwanted, is the fact that even though I have to come together with myself and think about it and say, okay, Deana-Rae, you don't look like how you normally look. You look different. And that different means one of my foot is longer than one. Thank you to my orthopedic surgeon. My eye is still not in a state where, you're used to it. And there is the foreign accent syndrome. And a lot of people might like the British accent and they think it's awesome. And I mean, it is really awesome. But at the end of the day, it's still something new for me. And everybody didn't like the foreign accent syndrome at first. Everybody thought I was being fake. There's still people that think that I'm being fake. Listen, I wish I was faking it, but I'm not. Because then the foreign accent syndrome comes with a lot of things. And one of that is not being able to remember things all the time, because I suffer from short and long-term memory loss. And as I've said in previous videos, I cannot remember everything and everybody before January of 2019. And that again is caused by the head trauma, which is the permanent brain damage that I'm currently living with. And when the brain gets damaged, there's no going back to what it was before. It's basically damaged and it will remain damaged. And so feeling unwanted is something that I battle with on a daily basis. And I tell you why I battle with it. It's because I feel like a burden, even though people say to me that I'm not a burden. But I do feel like a burden, because then people have to walk a little bit slower. They have to wait on me. They can't do things in a rush. And then I don't believe that. I think the same transition that I have to go through in accepting who I am now and how I look now, the people around me have to go through that transition as well. Because listen, Jamaican people are very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Straightforward in their stares. That's the best that I can actually come up with. But when I go out and I'm walking with a cane, or I'm walking with my crutches, or I'm in a wheelchair, people stare. And it's as in kids, but it's people as in adults, as in people my age, people older than me. They don't look at me as in a puzzled sort of way, as in, I want to know what's happening to her. I want to know why she's walking with a crutch. I want to know why she's in a wheelchair. No, they look at me in disgust, like, why am I even in the same space as them? And it's not something that you can always ignore. It's something that is always there. Because even if, say for instance, I'm in my wheelchair, and listen, when I tell you I don't like to ask for help, I don't. Even if I'm in pain, I will push that wheelchair myself. But even if I'm in my wheelchair and I'm going to talk to somebody, it's as if that everybody's around me feel the need to automatically pity me. I'm not pitying myself. So why would you be in a position where you need to pity me? So apart from that, that makes me feel unwanted. And the reason why I feel unwanted is because they frown up their nose at me, and then they behave like I'm a whole handicap. And so I feel a sense of, I don't feel like I belong anywhere. And so the need to go out in public, the need to be around people, the need to, satisfy my ability that, okay, Deana-Rae, you can hang with the world, is not that important to me anymore, because everywhere I go, I feel unwanted. And I feel like people believe that the perception is that I'm always going to need help, so they have to pity me. And that pity leads to me feeling unwanted. And so a lot of times, you may not go through the trauma that I go through. Yes, we can know that. But then whatever trauma you have been through, you believe that nobody can understand what you're going through. Nobody can comfort you. Nobody can actually provide, that additional opinion that pushes you to actually look at the situation from a different level. And that's okay. Because the last time I checked, unless you're a twin, when you came out into the world, you came out alone. We don't like to be alone. And even though people believe that there's strength in numbers, and even though people believe we need somebody in order to live, the first person that you need is actually yourself. And in needing yourself, it means that you have to understand where you are at in your life. You may not understand why, but everything is happening in your life how it's supposed to happen, how it's ordained to happen. And many times it's not going to be what we want. And I mean, we're human beings, we want what we want, but at the same time, we need to understand where we're at and how what we're experiencing right now. Why is it that we're feeling so unwanted? Is it our problem, or is it a them problem? Is it that we're putting ourselves in a situation where you're providing perceptions, you're coming up with assumptions in your head about what people are thinking and how people are behaving, because the only way to think about those things are negatively? Why is it that we don't think about those things that are happening to us positively? And that is how I got over, I wouldn't say got over, but that is how I'm working through actually feeling unwanted in public spaces, because it's a them problem. It's not a me problem. I don't have control over the fact that I can't walk right now. I would love to walk. I would love to get up and walk unassisted, but I cannot. And the fact that gets me really angry, and I feel really disappointed in that fact. I have to understand that it's just not my time to walk yet. And if the people around you can't understand the timing of how your life is progressing, then is it really that important to you that those people still stick around? Because we may be in toxic situations and we don't realize that we're the ones harboring the toxic situation. And in harboring it, we're sitting down having our own preconceived ideas, our own preconceived notions, and acting on them. Now, okay, people frown up their nose at me. People treat me differently. They pity me. They see me as a burden, or like I really need help. And that's their business. What I normally did was project that onto myself, and that is what left me feeling unwanted. Now, if I'm not supposed to be in a certain space, there are physical factors that will show me that, hey, you're not wanted. And if you're around people that you feel uncomfortable with, then you just need to leave, because what you have control over is not how people view you, it's not what people do or say, but how you react to it. How at the end of the day, your decision, because life is a choice. And so if you're in an uncomfortable situation, and it's a situation where, okay, you feel like the energy around you is not right, you feel like the people may be discussing you, because I can know when people are discussing me. When I roll up into a room and all of a sudden all conversations just stop, or all conversations just halted, they were talking about you. There's no if, but, or and about that. And again, that's not your problem, because probably their life is a little bit boring, and the fact that what you're going through is exciting to them. It may be the best part to their day. Let them talk. You need to understand that the list between the things that you can control and the things that you cannot control is a very straightforward list. You can only control the things that you can do, that you can provide for yourself. So when I roll up into a room and I can realize that people are talking about me, or I can feel the energy that people are talking about me, I don't roll out. I plant myself in there. So you can put a physical picture to who you're talking about. So you can have a mental picture of how fabulous I am, and how the fact that you have two legs that are working and your life is shit. And I have two legs that are almost working and I'm trying to be progressive in life. Because at the end of the day, I cannot be holding myself accountable for how people think. And that is what you need to stop doing. You need to stop holding yourself accountable for how people think. Life is a choice. Whether you do good, bad, or indifferent, people will always have something to say about you. There's no control over that. How you control is how you react to that situation. Whether or not you want to give them more importance than they really need, whether it is that you need to understand that, hey, yeah, I know that you're talking about me, and what? I cannot continue in my recovery. I cannot continue feeling unwanted because I have taken on the perception of people and their opinions in order to let me feel like I don't belong here. The only person that can tell me that I don't belong here is God. And he gave me a second chance at life. So if he believes I should be here, why is it that I am going to put myself in a position where I allow people, because I'm allowing it? The emotion that I feel of feeling unwanted is an emotion that we allow ourselves to feel. We allow people to infiltrate who we are as a person and let us feel like there's a problem with us. There's no problem with you. Those people probably have more problems than you can ever imagine. And I mean, life is what it is. It is hard. It gets harder sometimes. It's at its hardest in other areas. But at the end of the day, you have to understand the things you can control. And what you can always control, and something that nobody can take away from you, is how you react to a situation. How you put yourself in a position for not feeling that way. And how I've put myself in that position of not feeling unwanted is that I don't think about who is around me. I am in a place for purpose. And whatever I go to that place for, I do what I need to do and I get out. If I'm in, say for instance, because I'm trying to get back into this world in some normalcy, and I will go out, I will have dinner within the curfew hours, I will have dinner, I'll try to go to different places, I'll do the whole dress up and all of that. But at the end of the day, I'm still not feeling like I need to. And if I'm not feeling like I need to, all I need to do is leave. Because when you match energy, or when certain energies around you, it's not even the fact that the place may be bad or the people might be staring at me. It's just that in that specific moment, the universe is saying, you need to leave. The energy is off. This is toxic for you, or it will become toxic, because what it does, it anything that provides you, any environment, any person, any situation that puts you in a position where your mind can stray to negativity, it is a toxic situation, and you need to try and make the choice to remove yourself from all toxicity. It's not good for you. I mean, yes, we drink our water every day, and some of us mind our own business, like me, but toxicity is not just a relationship with a bad person or a friendship with a bad person. It is everything that we allow, every negativity that we allow in our space, in our aura. It is every negative thought that we might come off. Because then, just like how when you ask a question, the answer is either yes or no. When you have a thought, it's either negative or positive. Why is it that we are always trying to choose to think about the negative side to it? Yes, the negative will always exist, but try to change your mindset to think about, okay, you think about the negative, but then the positive to this situation is actually what? And if you're not seeing any positive, then you make one, because then you have control over your mindset. You have control over how you think. And so at this stage now, I don't feel unwanted, and I don't feel unwanted around people, because I now match energies. And I'm a vivacious, bubbly person. I'm an introvert when I need to be, and I'm an extrovert when I need to be. But at the end of the day, if I'm around somebody, based on their body language, based on how they respond to me, based on how they talk, you can pick up from these things that you're not wanted. Then you do what you need to do, say what you need to say, and remove yourself. Because at the end of the day, not because you are in your feelings because of whatever situation, or because you feel threatened by my beauty, or you feel as if, okay, I shouldn't be here, or why am I in your space? I'm coming to you to talk to you because it's important to me, and whatever I need to say is important, and I'm gonna let you hear what I have to say. However you want to feel after that is a you problem. It's not a me problem. The only time I have a problem is when I allow myself to think a certain way. And it's the same thing for you. When you allow yourself to think a certain way, when you push yourself to a mindset where you believe that you need acceptance from people, when you believe that the things that you're doing, that you believe in yourself is right, but because somebody else's opinion believe it's wrong, you go into a shell and you feel depressed and you feel sad about it. That's stupid. Because in the end, you have to stand up for something. And if you stand by what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to achieve, even if you're standing alone, at the end of the day, the road to the top is very long, but it's very lonely up there, because there's a lot of people that can't reach up there because they're consumed by so much negative energy. They're consumed by so much people's opinion. I mean, it's free will, it's free speech. People are free to actually tell you how they feel. They're free to actually have an opinion on any situation in life, and that is their choice. Your choice is to understand that every time somebody opens their mouth, they're providing their own opinion. What you do with that opinion is your problem. How you analyze it, how you dissect it, how you let it affect you is your problem. So stop feeling unwanted. Stop projecting other people's feelings into your space for you to feel unwanted, because you're allowing them to let you feel that way. What you need to do is allow yourself to feel wanted, because you feel wanted by yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else seems or thinks to seem about how you feel, how your presence intimidates them, how the things that you have to say is not on their level, because they don't think as logically as you. They don't think as open-minded as you. They don't think as out of the box as you. You're not as brainwashed as them. All people do is give you an opinion. All you need to do is decide how that opinion is going to affect you or not affect you. And so if you're watching this and you are struggling with that, feeling unwanted, whether it's in a relationship, and I mean, this motivational playlist is going to touch on a lot of different areas, because if you all thought that my accident was the only trauma I've been through in life, baby, you are in for the surprise of your life. So if you're in a relationship and you don't feel wanted, life is a choice. And I will always say this. The choice is for you to decide, how much longer am I going to allow this person to let me feel unwanted? What are the steps that I'm going to take to feel better about myself, better about the situation? How am I going to take control of it? Because then if you are feeling unwanted, you are allowing whatever this person is saying to you or doing to you for you to feel that way. You need to stop giving them so much control. If you are in a friendship where you're always there for your friend, and no matter what happened, you're always there, but then they're starting to let you feel unwanted, like your presence is not important, like reaching out to you is not important, and communicating is not important, and the things you used to do are no longer important to them, then the decision is yours, whether or not you're going to stay in that toxicity or you're going to find a way to work it out. Think outside of the box. Think about the choice you have to make in order to alleviate that power from that friend that you've given to them. You're in a situation, you're at work, you're out, wherever it is, whatever situation that has you feeling unwanted, sit back, take a look, just take a step back, look at it and say, okay, I'm feeling unwanted. Why are you feeling unwanted? What is happening while you're feeling unwanted? How is it that I am going to not feel this type of way? And the only way you can not feel that type of way is if you stop giving people power over you and your emotions. These are things that you control. The way you think, the way you feel, the way you react. Ain't nobody can control that but you. But if you give up that sense of control to other people and allow their opinions of you, their opinions of the situation to cloud your judgment, then you're just a puppet on a string, really. because you're living your life for people. And ain't nobody living your life for you because you're not that important to them. Everybody is living on their life for themselves. You need to do the same. And what you need to understand, you need to accept the fact that people will be people. They will do and say whatever they want to say, and they will do the things that pleases them the most until it no longer pleases them. So if that's a friendship, a relationship, a business deal, a business opportunity, anything, humans are humans. And I mean, being born in sin is the most horrible thing ever, but hey, we have no control over that. What we have control over is how this society is going to shape us as a human being, what we accept, what we don't accept, and how we are going to build our integrity as an individual. Because in the end, integrity, personality, character, ethics is things that you can control for yourself. And so, on that note, I no longer feel unwanted. I feel wanted everywhere because I'm fabulous. I have a wonderful accent. I have a wonderful story, but I am a wonderful person on the inside. So it doesn't matter how I physically look. The fact of the matter is my beauty is skin deep, and so is yours. And so if people can't understand that, it's not your problem, it's their problem, because then the right people will always be attracted to your energy. And if people around you are giving you a hard time about who you are, what you want to do, how you want to achieve your goals, then they're just really not the right person, no matter how much you love and adore them, no matter how much you've done for them, because we can't go around expecting ourselves in people. They are who they are and we are who we are, and we can only try to lead by example and hope to God that something in their brain chips and say, okay, let me treat them just the way that they treat me. Because people say it all the time, the least you can do is treat people like how they treat you, but people never do. They really never do. So you just have to understand that no matter what happens, you be yourself, be true to yourself, and understand that only you can change how you're feeling. So guys, if you've made it to this part of the video, I want to say thank you so much for being here with me. It is our very first video in our motivational playlist. Things that you can think about, that I'll be talking about. I'll be talking about relationships. I'll be talking about verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. And yes, we may think that mental, emotional, and psychological abuse is the same thing. They're perfectly different things. I will be talking about how my accident has affected me in many different ways that I have not shared before. I will also talk about the different levels of friendship that I had to go through, and the different type of personalities, and how I allow people to make me feel, and even now how I allow people to make me feel. So this motivational playlist is just not for me, it's also for you. And if you have any ideas, or if you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about, you can always leave it in the comment below. I read every comment, and I literally respond to every comment. So you can always tell me what you want to talk about. If you have any advice, in addition to my video, you can always drop your feeling of unwantedness and how you dealt with it, because maybe how I deal with it, you don't deal with it that way. Because you have to find out what works for you. What works for me is changing my mindset and not projecting people's energy onto me, which is allowing me to feel this toxic feeling of not feeling unwanted. So if you have different ways of coping with your unwanted, the feeling of being unwanted, then you can drop it in the comment and let me know. So guys, thank you so much for being on another video with me. Remember to like, share, subscribe, send it to everybody, the lady down the street, your gardener, everybody. I want to just say thank you so much for continuing to be on the journey with me. I promise I will be consistent in my videos. And I just want to say thank you so much for being on another British Bionic Babe video. Bye.